Yes. How's it going? You alright, yeah? I've just watched the Terence Crawford Kell Brook fight back for the third time. And it was really fucking interesting, wasn't it, that fight? It was really good to see. In a way, you know, because I've trained with Kell Brook for years and years in the gym. You know, I like him. So, you know, to see him get fucked up like that, it was a bit like a car crash. You know, like I didn't want to look, but I couldn't look away. You know, it was like that. I didn't really want to see that. But at the same time, it was like interesting to see and I couldn't look away. It was fucking really interesting, wasn't it? That was such a good southpaw jab on it, like straight in the face. And it didn't even like hit Kell on the chin. You know, punches to the chin, they normally fuck the boxer up. And the temple, you know, they're normally the two spots that fuck the boxer up. But it's like he kind of caught Kell, you know, on the cheekbone, like the eye. You know, he's got that new metal plate in his eye. He kind of caught him on the eye, didn't he? You know, and it kind of like fucked him up. You know, and he got his eye fucked up by fucking Golovkin. You know, and he's got like a metal plate, you know, in his eye. And that's where Terence Crawford caught him, you know, with that stiff jab. So it kind of messed him up, didn't it? So that area, that might be like a vulnerable area. I lost 150 quid on that fight, you know. I put a little cheeky bet on. I never normally bet. I've never ever betted, you know, on a fight. But I thought I'd put a little cheeky bet on the fight. I put £100 on Terence Crawford to win on points, yeah. Because I didn't think he'd stop Kell. I didn't think he would. You know what I mean? You know, because Kell, like, he didn't have that rehydration clause, you know, where he has to weigh like within 10 pounds of his weight that he gets weighed in at. He didn't have to stick to that, so I thought, you know what, he's gonna have the strength, you know, to get to the final bell. Because he doesn't have to, you know, fucking go through like making weight again after he gets weighed the first time. So I thought Kell would be able to like get through it. Because he looked the bigger guy, didn't he, in the ring as well. Kell looked physically superior, you know, to Terence Crawford. So I thought Kell would get through, you know, to the final bell. And so I put £100 on Terence Crawford to win on points, yeah. And I put 50 quid on Kell to win on points. And you might say, oh, that's fucking embarrassing, man. That's fucking naive. Why are you putting £50 on Kell to win on points? I don't know, I kind of had that Sean Porter victory in mind, you know. You know, you can say, yeah, but it was like 6 years ago and Sean Porter wasn't one of the best pound for pound boxers in the world like Terence Crawford. So you put in £50 on Kell Brook to win on points against Terence Crawford, you know, it's a bit fucking daft and naive. But I put 50 quid on Kell to win on points and £100 on Terence Crawford to win on points. So I lost 150 quid. And I was fucking going mental, you know, just chucking that 150 quid down the drain. But yeah, it was a good fight, wasn't it? It was really interesting to see that. You know, some people say, oh, you know, if Dominic Ingle was in Kell's corner, he would have won, or he would have done a lot better. But he was doing all right, you know, until he got caught. You know, with that big jab, he was doing okay, man. He looked quite sharp, didn't he? So, I don't know. You know, obviously, Kell's trainer was a little nobody. You know, some little fucking muppet, you know, who was brought in for cheap. You know, he's a little nobody, you know, no one's ever heard of him. But Kell losing that fight, I don't know if it was down to the trainer. It's boxing, isn't it? You know, you're gonna get hit, aren't you? Like, who's the most defensive boxer, you know, of modern times? Mayweather. Remember when he got caught by Shane Mosley, you know, with that big right hand? You know, he took it well, didn't he, Mayweather? You know, that's shown like another side to him. You know, because like normally he's like just a fucking slick boxer, you know, not really getting hit. So seeing him get hit like that, you know, and just fucking taking it and just fucking still winning the fight. Showing a different side to Mayweather, didn't he? But he got hit by that big punch, so it's boxing, isn't it? You're gonna get hit, aren't you? So you know, Kell getting caught with that big jab, I don't think it's down to his little shit trainer that he had. It's just one of them things, isn't it? You're gonna get hit in boxing. And if you get caught with a good jab like that, you're gonna be fucked, aren't you? You have to respect that jab, don't you? You know, Mayweather didn't respect Conor's jab at all, did he? Look at that. You know, he didn't even flinch, did he, Mayweather? He didn't react to it at all, did he, Mayweather? Not at all. There was like zero respect, you know, for Conor McGregor's jab. But he'd have to respect Terence Crawford's jab, wouldn't he? He's got a big right hand on him. Like, look at this. This is the end of the fight. You know that right hook, yeah? He like feinted it. So that's the left hand. And then he like feints the right. Look how he pretends to throw it, but he hesitates. And then Kell like puts his shoulder there, you know, like to block it. But Terence doesn't throw it. So then Kell's head kind of goes back into position, yeah? And then he fucking catches him like that. Fucking beautifully timed, wasn't it? Beautifully timed. He's fucking really good in it, Terence Crawford. You know, I've got a lot of respect for him now. I might stop having a go at his fat wife. I've got to show him that respect now, Anna. I've got to show him that respect. She blocked me on Instagram. You know, Terence Crawford wrote a tweet, you know, saying we've got passports here as well, you know. You know, basically saying that he's going to get his passport, come to England and fuck me up. You know, for having a go at his fat wife. But that was a quality fucking punch, wasn't it? He threw a left hook. You know, he's hesitating. Look at him hesitating with that right hand. He's like fainting, isn't he? Like fainting with it, like pretending. Look at that. That's a pound for pound move, that is, isn't it? You know, that little feint with the right hook. He's got a big right hand on him. You know, he fucked up the Skype wanker, you know, with the right hand. You know, that was like the beginning of the end for the Skype wanker. He's got a big right hand on him. And then he fucking said he got hit low. That doesn't really look low. It's obviously low, innit? But it looks like it's more on the leg. You know what I mean? I think the Skype wanker, he just wanted a way out, didn't he? So he kind of fucking pussied out. So he kind of quit, didn't he, the Skype wanker. He didn't want that Terence Crawford smoke. You know, that pound for pound smoke. He couldn't handle it, could he, the Skype wanker. Some people are saying that Kell should just retire. You know, he's had it beaten out of him by Golovkin and Spence and now Terence Crawford. So he hasn't got it. He hasn't got anything left. Just fuck it off. What do you think of that? Can he really get motivated to fight Liam Smith? That's not really a fucking big fight, is it? That's not really a big deal, is it? Liam Smith, that's a big step down, isn't it? That's a big fucking drop, you know, in levels. Terence Crawford to Liam Smith. So I don't know what Kell does now, I don't know. But I think Kell should fuck it off. But it's easier said than done, innit? Like, Kell might really love boxing. I don't love boxing. I just do these videos to slag off Cougar. But I don't really love boxing, but Kell might love it. So for someone who really loves boxing, it might be hard to walk away. You know, like Harold Graham. You know, when he got fucked up by Julian Jackson. And I think he had a few other defeats. You know, he got a detached retina. So he wasn't able to box again. You know, he got his license revoked by the boxing board. You know, because he had a detached retina. You know, after getting fucked up by Julian Jackson and a few others. So he wasn't able to get his boxing license back and fight again. So he got really depressed, you know, and he started drinking and he tried to kill himself. You know, he tried to slit his wrists, you know, with a razor blade. You know, and then he got sectioned and then he fucking went downhill and, you know, he started working in Asda. You know, stacking shelves in Asda. This is a guy who won a British, Commonwealth and European title and was a world title challenger. And came close to winning a world title on a few occasions. You know, he was beating Julian Jackson money. But then he got fucking ironed out. So this guy, he kind of went downhill, didn't he? Harold Graham, you know what I mean? And he used to like probably school Nassim Hamed, you know, in sparring. So the stories I've heard was that Harold used to school Nas. You know, Nas was just a little kid, wasn't he? People say that Nassim Hamed got his style from Harold Graham. You know what I mean? Like, Harold's the originator, you know, that style. You know, and then Nassim Hamed, you know, took it to a different level and became a world champion and a multi-millionaire. So, you know, those two, they look all pally-pally there, don't they? But I don't know if there's a bit of resentment, you know, from Harold Graham. I don't know if he's a bit fucking jealous, you know, of Nas's successes because he was the originator of that style. You know, and he fucked up, didn't he, Harold Graham? But Nassim Hamed, you know, he went on and became a fucking world champion and a multi-millionaire. And Harold Graham ended up stacking shelves in Asda. So there might be a bit of resentment, you know, behind that smile of Harold Graham's. Yeah, you know Harold Graham, yeah? You know, a few years ago, he was like trying to raise funds, you know, because his wife had cancer. You know, and he was trying to like raise money, you know, to try and get her some fancy surgery, you know, to save her life, you know, and he was like trying to raise a few grand. So, you know, Nas, you know, being like a multi-millionaire, you know, do you think he should have said to Harold, you know what? I learned a lot from you growing up, you know, I fucking mimicked your style and really benefited from it, you know, made millions and became a world champion. So here's a few little grand, you know, it's not really going to affect me. So here's a few little grand, you know, for your wife's surgery. You know, do you think Nas should have done that? He didn't do it, did he? And fucking Harold Graham's wife died. I'm not saying Nas owed him money, but it's just like, you know, when you're fucking learning that much off a guy and you've really benefited from mimicking his style, and you've used and imitated his style to become a world champion and a multi-millionaire. You know, just to give Harold Graham a few little grand so his wife can have some fancy surgery, you know, to save her life. It's nothing, is it, to Nas? You know, a few little poxy grand. It's fucking nothing, is it? Like, remember when he crashed that car into that guy and got out and ran off? You know, that nice fancy car of Nas's, he just crashed it, you know, and just thought, fuck you. I need to get out of here, and just ran off, you know what I mean? He wasn't bothered about the car at all, was he? You know, he's got that serious money. You know, where he can just smash up a fancy car like that and just think, fuck you, I'm getting out of here. So, you know, to give Harold a few little grand is fucking nothing, is it? You know, but he didn't, did he? You know, he wanted to keep the whole fucking pie, didn't he? You know, like that fucking Coogan. They don't want to share the pie at all, do they? Nas didn't want to help out Harold Graham, did he? So Harold Graham went downhill without boxing, didn't he? He got sectioned and tried to commit suicide, and he just really fucked up, didn't he, without boxing. So, you know, people saying Kell should just fuck boxing off. You know, it's probably not that easy. You know, he might not have anything else in life. You know, he's got a few little fancy kids, you know, and a fancy wife and a fancy bank balance. You know, he's not going to have to stack shelves in Asda like Harold Graham. But I don't know if having money and having fancy kids and a fancy wife is satisfying enough for Kell. I don't know. So I don't really know where Kell goes from here, you know. I can't really see him stepping down and fighting Liam Smith. You know, it's too big of a step down in it from Terence Crawford. Where does Terence Crawford go from here as well? Like, you know, he's always talking about these big names in it. Errol Spence, fucking Manny Pacquiao, but I don't know, we've been hearing this for a while, haven't we? Fucking gets boring, don't he? Yeah, he's promoted by Bob Arum, he's promoted by Al Heyman, he's fighting on PBC, he's fighting on ESPN, he can't fight him because he boxes on DAZN. It's fucking boring, innit? I just can't be asked to fucking even talk about all this shit in boxing. It's just politics, innit? I can't be bothered to get into it. You know what I mean? But it's like, just fucking... Terence Crawford needs to fuck Bob Arum off, you know what I mean? He's just holding him back, innit? He's fucking around with those ring card girls. He's fucking old as fuck, you know? He's going senile, innit? He's in his 80s, you know, he's not fucking capable of making like the right fights, you know, he's fucking going senile. So Terence Crawford needs to fuck him off. Because he's already a multi-millionaire, isn't he? Terence Crawford. So now it's all about the legacy, innit? I didn't know he was about 34 years old. He's about 33 or 34. I didn't know he was that old. So now it's all about the legacy, innit? So he needs to just fuck this fucking Bob Arum off, you know what I mean? He's holding him back, man. He's fucking up his legacy, innit? He's fucking old as fuck, you know, he's going senile, innit? You know what I mean? I bet this fucking fight that Kell had with Terence, I bet it generated money, you know? I paid for that. But I quickly cancelled it afterwards, you know, so I can get my money back. But... I don't know, Eddie Hearn, he's a bit snidey, isn't he? You know, he don't give a fuck. I bet he's glad Kell lost. It's all about a pound note with these fuckers, you know what I mean? These fucking boxers shouldn't think that they're friends, you know what I mean? They're not. They're fucking not, man. They treat the boxers like hookers. They don't give a fuck about them at all. Like Don King, you know, I was watching an interview with Mike Tyson, you know, saying that Don King robbed him, and so then Mike Tyson had to beat the fuck out of Don King, you know, and fucking smack him up. Even though Don King murdered somebody in the past, you know, Mike Tyson still fucked him up, you know, gave him a beating. You know, he's a fucking snidey fucker, ain't he, Don King? You know, when he like went to the ring, you know, with Gerald McLennan. And then when he got fucked up and blinded by Nigel Benn, you know, Don King left the ring with Nigel Benn. You know, just left Gerald McLennan blind as fuck. You know, and just got on the Nigel Benn hype. These promoters are fucking snidey bastards. Yeah, did you notice how Coogan posted a video, you know, of Terence Crawford fucking up Kell Brook? You know, the video was called Wow. Watch incredible close-up slow-mo clip of Terence Crawford's TKO over Kell Brook. Wow. Wow. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? That was a bit strange. Like, why is he doing that? Like, you know, it's almost like he's trying to have a little dig at Kell, you know, because he left his fucking mate Eddie Hearn, who's giving him 500 quid a week. Because, like, you couldn't imagine Coogan posting a slow motion close-up video of Dillian Whyte getting knocked out by Povetkin, can you? You know, you can't imagine that, can you? You know, the day after Dillian got knocked out by Povetkin, you can't imagine Coogan posting a close-up, slow-mo, wow video of Dillian getting knocked out by Povetkin. You know, with a little fancy title, wow, everyone watch Dillian Whyte getting knocked out by Povetkin up close, in slow-mo. You know, you can't imagine it, can you? It won't happen, would it? So why is he doing it to Kell? Like, is it because Kell left his fucking mate Eddie Hearn? You know, he's giving him 500 quid a week, so Coogan's fucking having a little dig at Kell, you know what I mean? Like, that's so childish, isn't it, from Coogan? So fucking immature, innit? Because, like, when Kell got stopped by Golovkin and Errol Spence, he didn't post a video then, you know, like a slow-mo. He didn't, did he? You know, but since Kell left fucking Eddie Hearn, Coogan's little fucking mate, you know, he's posting these wow Watch incredible close-up slow-mo clip of Terence Crawford's TKO over Kell Brook. Wow. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit snidey, innit, doing that. It's a bit of a fucking snidey move, innit? It's out of order, innit? But it might not have been Kruger, it might have been Umar, IFL Umar. You know, he's a bit snidey as well, isn't he? You know, he fucking loves clickbait, don't he? He's like the fucking clickbait king, isn't he? So it might have been Umar, IFL Umar. Yeah, you know, Umar, IFL Umar. He's not that interesting anymore, is he? You know, when he first came on the scene, you know, with that fancy white woman, Laura Deacon, you know, we was like really fucking intrigued, you know, by seeing him with his little fancy white girlfriend, Laura Deacon. We were like really interested, you know, seeing those two together, thinking, fucking hell, he's done well on it, he's done fucking really well sexually. Yeah, she looks alright, don't she, that nice sexy white woman, Laura Deacon. So we were really intrigued, you know, keeping our eyes on their relationship. You know, it was really fascinating, wasn't it? You know, and then like Coogan, you know, give him his big break, you know, interviewing Joshua. You know, and then because he interviewed Joshua, his celebrity status started to rise and he fucking started fucking those nice, sexy ring card girls. You know, and his fucking arrogance went through the roof, didn't it? You know, his fucking ego and his arrogance went through the roof. Do you know what I mean? Having a Nando's with Tyson Fury. How's your Tuesday going? You know, all of that business. You know, all that fucking arrogance. You know, basically saying that he's living a better life than us, you know, because he's having a Nando's with Tyson Fury. How's your Tuesday going? You know, and he was mingling with the big names, you know, getting that celebrity treatment. So he had that fucking arrogance, didn't he? He had that arrogance. You know what I mean? You know, sitting on his car like fucking Nassim Hamed. You know, showing off his fancy car like fucking Nassim Hamed. So he was getting like really arrogant and really cocky on it. His fucking ego was going through the roof on it. You know, but then those old tweets came out, you know, of him calling Tyson Fury a crackhead cunt. You know, that he wrote years and years ago that somebody fucking dug up. You know, and all these tweets came out, you know, when he fucking wrote tweets calling Liverpool people murderers and unemployed bin dippers. So he was like really interesting, wasn't he? But I don't know, he's not as interesting anymore, is he? It's not really, you know, there's nothing really to talk about him. He's not really as interesting, you know, he's fucking, I think Coogan had a word with him and told him to calm the fuck down. I think Coogan said to him, listen, I'll take you back and you can keep working for me, but you have to calm the fuck down. Because I'm trying to go all corporate. I'm trying to get all these fancy sponsors.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
So you have to fucking calm the fuck down, you know, with all this fucking arrogance and all this slander on Twitter. So I think Coogan like really calmed him down, you know, because he's not as interesting anymore, is he? He's not really as out there as he used to be, you know what I mean? I used to like him when he was like really out there. You know, and showing off these nice, fancy white women that he was fucking. I used to like that Umar. But Coogan's fucked him up on it. He's made him really fucking uninteresting. You know what I mean? Coogan's taken away his creativity. You know, and his arrogance and his cockiness and his fucking interesting lifestyle that we were watching and observing and taking interest in. Coogan's fucked it up for us, hasn't he? He's fucked it up, man, just so he can get his sponsors, you know what I mean? He's fucking, he wants the whole pie, don't he? You know, he's taken away Umar's edge, you know, that edge that he used to have, that fucking interesting edge, you know? Nah, he's just like that fucking Andrew McCart. You remember him, you know, when he was like writing tweets saying, when are people going to start calling me Andy, IFL Andy? You know, because he wanted to be like Umar, you know, with that lifestyle and the women and people talking about him and giving him that celebrity treatment and that fucking attention, you know what I mean? So nice. Umar's just gone to being like fucking Andy McCart. Cuban fucked him up, didn't it? It's like he sedated him, you know what I mean? Like he's giving him a fucking date rape pill, you know, and just sedated him and made him really uninteresting. Well, yeah, that'll do, you know, just a shit video today, you know. I'm gonna do another video now, you know. I'm talking about Callum Smith against Canelo. That's quite a good fight, innit? You know, I'm not really gonna go into it right now. I'll do a video about it, but I think Canelo would chop up Callum Smith, you know, like he chopped up his brother Liam Smith. I think he'll chop up that long body of Callum Smith, you know, fuck him up like he did his brother Liam Smith. But it's a good fight, innit? That's what we want to see. This is what I mean with the Kell, Brook, Terence Crawford fight. You know, that was a good fight, wasn't it? That was good to see. Canelo, Callum Smith, that's a good fight as well. Do you know what I mean? I like Billy Joe Saunders, but I just don't give a fuck about Martin Murray. I thought he retired like 5 years ago. I thought he was finished. Even when he was boxing, he wasn't, you know, he's good in it, but I've never really been interested in Martin Murray. You know, and he's fucking been retired for years, I'm sure he has, and his personality is not really the best, so I'm not really interested. I like Billy Joe Saunders though. You know, when Coogan reported my old YouTube channel when it got shut down, Billy Joe Saunders messaged me, you know, offering me some cash. So that was quite good of him on it, you know. I politely declined the offer. But you know, the fact that he offered in the first place is quite good of him, innit? So I like him. You know what I mean? But I just don't give a fuck about Martin Murray. So yeah, I'm gonna do another video anyway about Canelo, Callum Smith. But yeah, that'll do, you know. This has probably been the fucking worst video so far, hasn't it? It's been the fucking worst one so far. I think I really fucking let my channel down with this video, you know, but it don't matter, it don't matter, it don't matter, it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. Just fucking thanks for watching, yeah.